Hello, today I will be explaining how the rise of extremism affected international relations in the years leading up to World War II. The rise of extremism was largely driven by the global economic crisis following the Great Depression. After the 1929 Wall Street crash, international trade collapsed, unemployment rose, and governments struggled to respond. This created widespread dissatisfaction, which led many people to support extreme political ideologies like fascism and communism. As a result, extremist leaders came to power in countries such as Germany, Italy, and Japan. This shift had a major impact on international relations because extremist governments rejected cooperation and instead pursued aggressive nationalistic goals. In particular, Adolf Hitler's rise in Germany marked a turning point. Hitler aimed to overturn the Treaty of Versailles, rebuild Germany's military, and expand its territory. These goals directly challenged the post-World War I systems and increased tensions across Europe. As Germany became more aggressive, other countries reacted with fear and suspicion. France, for example, took a more defensive and cautious approach, while Britain often tried to avoid conflict through compromise. At the same time, the Soviet Union felt threatened by Hitler's strong anti-communist stance, which increased mistrust between major powers and made cooperation more difficult. Extremism also led to a formation of new alliances that divided Europe. Germany and Italy, both fascist states, grew closer and eventually formed the Rome-Berlin Axis. Japan, under military leadership, also pursued expansion and aligned itself with Germany through agreements like the Anti-Comintern Pact. These alliances increased global tensions by creating opposing blocs of power. In addition, extremist policies directly caused international crises. For example, Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931 and later withdrew from international agreements and the League of Nations, showing a clear rejection of cooperation. Similarly, Italy's invasion of Abyssinia in 1935 demonstrated how fascist regimes were willing to use force to expand. These actions weakened trust between nations and exposed the inability of the League of Nations to maintain peace. Another key example is the Spanish Civil War, which became a proxy conflict between ideologies. Germany and Italy supported the nationalist force, while the Soviet Union supported the Republicans. Although Britain and France officially stayed neutral, the war deepened divisions between fascist and communist powers and increased tensions across Europe. Hitler's expansionist actions had the most direct impact on international relations. His rearmament of Germany, remilitarization of the Rhineland, and annexation of Austria all violated previous agreements. Each time, Britain and France chose not to take strong action, hoping to avoid war. This policy, often described as appeasement, allowed Hitler to become more confident and aggressive. The turning point came with the Munich Agreement in 1938, where Britain and France allowed Germany to take the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. While it temporarily avoided conflict, it ultimately showed that extremist leaders could act without serious consequences. Soon after, Hitler took the rest of Czechoslovakia and then invaded Poland in 1939, which finally triggered World War II.